Hello job boys out there, it's a brand new week, so you know what that means, a new week with lots of new adventures to be had, and I'm taking you guys on my adventures that I get up to this week. I've got Monday and Tuesday off work, I'm not on work till Wednesday now, so it means that I was able to have a little bit of a lie-in, and it felt so good not to have to set any alarms. I then got showered and changed and had some breakfast, and for my breakfast I had some porridge. I watched a little bit of TV, listened to a bit of music, and was having some bear cuddles, and was playing with him out in the garden with one of those rope toys that he loves to play with. And it was such a lovely sunny day of beautiful blue skies. I then had a beard and head shave, and I love the constant boost that a beard and head shave gives you. And I then got myself ready to go off for a walk, and it was lovely and sunny, beautiful blue skies, a little bit windy, so I had my fleece in my bag to take with me just in case. And just before going off on my walk, I finished off sorting out my Bluetooth doll into a new look, and show you guys a clip of that. Here's my Bluetooth doll's newest look. Starting off with the shoes, she's got these red sparkly high heels on, then these blue denim jeans, then she has this black rose printed top with puffy off the shoulder sleeves with these red straps, and she's got this red rose necklace and her black hat, and this is the whole look. That waist choker and the top with the puffy sleeves are so cute. I then head off on my walk and had a lovely stroll, listened to music on my headphones, enjoying the sunshine and blue skies, and the wind had died down a bit as it had been a little bit nippy with the strong winds. I then made my way up to the high street, and I went off to the little arts and crafts shop at the bottom of the high street they have in the high street now, and they sell really cool little art bits, and I've got some really cool prints on there before, so I was having a lovely look around there and having a great chat with the shopkeeper in there. I then popped to one of the cafes in the high street and ended up getting myself some lunch from there, and whilst waiting for my lunch to arrive, I got some mayo selfies from there that I'll show you guys. They've got such pretty mirrors in that cafe with really funky wallpaper and really cute lanterns. I then had my lunch. I had some nachos and a hot chocolate with vanilla in, and it was so delicious. And the plate that the nachos came in, the little dish, was so cute. I'm sure you guys that. I got in there when it was quiet, and then as I finished it started to get quite busy, so I timed it perfectly to get in there and get my food and drinks whilst it was quiet. I then headed off and had a look around some more of the shops. I went off to one of the flower shops and I got some flower starts. They've got such beautiful bouquets of flowers in there, and lots of roses and really pretty colourful flowers. I was having a lovely chat with the flower shopkeepers in there, and I got some plant hats from the plant section, and I'll show you guys those. They've got such beautiful succulents and cactuses and pretty patterned leaves and pretty plant pots in there, and the window displays are always so pretty with all the succulents and cactuses in the windows. I then went off and had a look around at some more of the charge shots and ended up seeing one of my mates who I go to morning group with their carer in the lounge, so I went in there and was having a chat with them, and then I got some mirror selfies from there that I'll show you guys. They've got such cute lanterns and pretty patterned wallpaper and really cool prints in there. I then went off and had a look around some more of the child shops and went off into one of them and had seen this jumper in the window on a little mannequin they had in there, and I was like, that's a really nice jumper. Said it out loud, I didn't think I'd said it out loud, and one of the regulars who comes into my workplace heard me and was like, well, I better go get it before it gets nabbed. So I was like, I shall. Well, I am and ahed about it at first, and I was like, nope, I'm going to go in. So I went in and checked, and it was a size large, which is the size jumpers I'd like to get. So it was fate, and so I tried it on, and I got a mirror selfie from the little fitting room and 2 mirror snaps from some mirrors I found in the charge shop, and I'll show you guys those. It fits like a glove. It's a little bit long on my body, but I don't care, and it's really comfortable. And I then got these 2 mirror snaps from some of the mirrors I found whilst I had a look around the charge shops, and they were so pretty, really pretty patterned mirrors. I then went off to go and have a look in the bookshop, and I love the smell of old books so much. I bumped into one of my family friends and I was having a nice chat with them, and then I got myself a drink from Costa, and whilst waiting for that to be done, I got 2 mirror selfies from one of the mirrors they have in there. Wallpaper they have in there with all the pretty patterned leaves is so cute. I'd love to have that in my bedroom. I then headed off, and on my way back I was listening to music on my headphones. I then got home and I was just listening to a bit of music whilst working on some illustrations, kind of some of those in, and just read some more of the long game. I was watching some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos, and then I was just tidying up my office and my dolls and dollhouse, and had a pop noodle and was just watching some vlogs and TikToks and funny dog and cat videos and some sea lion videos, and playing with Bear with his cuddly toy rope, which he loves, but it doesn't have hurt when he whacks it into your shins. When he gets excited, he shakes it and chucks it around the place. And then my dad went off to lock up work. It's half time at the moment, so normally he doesn't have to go back in the evening, but he has to during the half term. So he went back to lock up and then got back, and I had a cup of tea with some custard creams. I was working on my short story that I'm working on, and I'm now off to go and take Bear for a walk with my dad and just see you with a bit more of the vlog when I'm back from that. It's late on in the evening now, and I had a lovely time taking Bear for a walk earlier on with my dad, and the weather was lovely, beautiful blue skies and sunshine, and Bear was jumping in lots of puddles, so he got very wet and very muddy, so we had to dry him off when we got back. And then I was reading some more of the long game. I was listening to a bit of music, and I had a cup of tea and some biscuits, and just worked on some illustrations. Kind of some days in, I was just tidying up my office, my dolls and dollhouse, and Alice Osman has just announced that the 6th book will be out in July, and showed us the cover of the 6th volume and the final book to the Heartstopper series. Gutted, I didn't want it to end. I just love this series so much. We're looking forward to that, and also a film that's going to be coming out as well, which is very exciting. And then I was just watching some stuff off record, Later Fish catching up on, and was just listening to a bit of Kylie. And then I had some Bear cuddles and was playing with him with one of his rope toys. And then I had my tea, and for my tea I had this KFC style chicken and some chips, and I'll show you guys that. It was so delicious, and I'm now off to go and finish my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be watching today's Home and Away and UK soaps. And next week on Home and Away there's going to be a train crash in a tunnel, and I've seen a trailer for that. It looks very exciting. Hope none of my favourites die, and I can't wait to see all the drama that unfolds with that. I shall see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Tuesday, and I got up after a lie-in. I then had some lemon curd toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast. I had some Bear cuddles and watched a little bit of TV, just listened to some music, and was watching some stuff on Netflix. I then got myself ready to go off to my happy place, the garden centre. So I got myself ready to go off there, and I then headed off to the garden centre, and whilst on my way up there I was listening to music on my headphones, enjoying the lovely sunshine and blue skies that we've been lucky to have at the moment, making the most of it before the rain comes back. You never know with this country's weather, it could be sunny one minute, raining the next. So I had my coat in my bag. I also had some gloves and a hat and a fleece in my bag, because you never know what this weather's going to do at any minute. And then I got up to the garden centre, and I had to wipe my shoes on some wet grass as I'd gone down this country lane, little shortcut, and it was absolutely covered in mud. There was massive muddy patches where it had rained, so my shoes got absolutely covered in mud, which was not good. And I started going down there and was like, I could turn back, but might as well just get it over and done with. So I quickly got my shoes cleaned off and then got into the garden centre, and I headed off to the little tunnel entranceway where they've got a load of spring flowers starting to appear, and got a mirror selfie from there that I'm showing you guys. That mirror is so cute, and I love that flower little decoration next to it. You've got a load of those dotted around the place ready for spring, and I cannot wait for springtime to come. I then got some flowers from the flower section, and I'll show you guys those. Flower section is like a sea of beautiful colourful flowers, so vibrant, and was able to get some really pretty flowers, and I love all the spring flowers starting to appear. I then had a look around at the home section and the stationery section and got some bits from there, and then went off and had a look at the plant section. I was having a lovely walk around there looking at all the pretty plants. I've got some plants that's on there that I'm sure you can. The succulents and cactuses and plants they have in there are so beautiful, really pretty patterns on those plants and lots of pretty plant pots. I then saw and chatted to one of my mates who works there. I was having a lovely chat with them, and then I made my way back from the garden centre, and on the way back from being at the garden centre I was listening to music on my headphones, listening to a bit of BB Rex's new album, which is so good. I then went off to the shops to get myself some lunch from there and got myself a drink for work tomorrow. I have work doing 9 till 3 tomorrow. My dad's off work now for half term, which means he'll be able to drop me to work. I don't have to walk to work, thankfully, and it means I will be able to get a little bit more of a line than I would normally if I was walking to work. I then got myself a drink and got myself some chicken Caesar wraps, and then made my way back from there. And on my way back I had my drink, and it warmed up a little bit as it had been a little bit chilly, and the sun was beaming down, so I was enjoying the lovely sunshine. And I made my way home and got back and had my lunch. I had some chicken Caesar wraps, which I love. Chicken Caesar wraps are my favourite type of wraps to have. And then I put my work drink in my bag, waiting for work tomorrow, and was working on some illustrations, cutting some of those in, and just listened to a bit of music. And I'll show you guys the bits I got from Dobby's. Here are the bits I got from Dobby's Garden Centre. I got some more lemon curd, or as my mum likes to call it, lemon turd, as she does not like it, but I love it, which means more for me. And I had a jar already, but it was running pretty low, so I got this from that. I didn't even know they were doing jams and stuff like that at the garden centre at the moment, and I came across it whilst going to the sweet section, so now I had to get myself some more. And then I got some shrimp and banana from the sweet section. These are probably my favourite sweets of all time. They're so good. I can't wait to tuck into those sweets. Shrimp and banana are so good. And then put the lemon curd in the pantry with my other lemon curd. It's almost out. And then I finished off 2 new illustrations, and I'll show you guys. Here are 2 of my new illustrations. Starting off with this one here. She's got a shoulder padded long sleeved jumper with a collar and a black brooch. And then she's got this choker necklace with a little brooch in the middle. And she's got some pom-pom earrings and some spike stud earrings. And she's got some winged eyeliner with big long eyelashes. And she's got this long flowing black hair. And she has this heart cut dress with little detail on the heart cut bit of the dress, which is so cute. And she has these sparkly high heel boots on, and she's got these big shoulder pads, loving shoulder pads at the moment. Then on to the second look, she's got this puffy dress with this ruching off the shoulder dress with this pearl necklace and some gloves with some rings on. Then she's got this little purse, and she's got some netting stockings and then these high heels on. And I love her face with the winged eyeliner. I'm loving my winged eyeliner at the moment, and this really cool hairstyle. And she's got this black pearl earring on and some sparkles on the dress. I've been loving my illustrations at the moment. I had a bit of a period where I wasn't doing as many illustrations as I used to do, but I've started getting back into it, and I'm really loving adding lots of details into those. I then was listening to a bit of music, and my dad was sorting stuff in the garden sheds, so Bear was watching what he was doing and was doing zoomies around the garden. He'd be running around in a circle and then would come into the back of the house and go and run back around again. And then my dad took Bear off for a walk. I then was just watching some TikToks and some vlogs on funny dog and cat videos and some sea lion videos. I'm loving sea lions at the moment. They're my favourite animal at the moment. And then I posted a TikTok of me with my heated waifu book, and it's isn't it amazing? It's like, I think it's a bit overhyped, and it's like, get out. So I did that about heated waifu. It's like when someone dares to disrespect heated waifu, which got a load of likes and comments. And I then was just watching some stuff off record, and my dad got back from being on his walk with Bear, and I then was just watching Escape to the Country and a bit of Father Brown, and then had a cup of tea and some of my custard creams that I got from the shops early on. I forgot to mention that. I got some more custard creams to put in my biscuit tin that I have hidden in my room so that my siblings can't come in and try and nick any of them. And then I got this cute snap of Bear on the sofa, and I'll show you guys that. He may be getting ginormous, but it'll always be my baby bear, and he's just so cute. And then I was just watching some episodes of Doctor Who, and I watched The Gun in the Fireplace, which is probably my favourite ever Doctor Who episode. It's so good. And then my older sister came over, and she is on half term as well. That's my older brother and my dad, as they work in schools. And my older brother is currently away with his girlfriend in Torquay, and we were having pizza for tea, and so my mum got those on, and it smelled so good. And then me and my sisters were playing some games of Shut the Box, which I love playing. It's so good. And then tea was ready, and we had our pizzas, and I'll show you guys. The pizza we had for tea was so delicious. And then we did some pancakes. Happy pancake day, guys. Hope you're stuffing yourself with pancakes. I had some banana pancakes with some chocolate syrup on, and I'll show you guys. The pancakes were so delicious. Got it all around my chops. And then we tidied away the kitchen, and we're just playing some more games. And then my older sister headed home. I did finish writing my journal entry for today, put that away, and I'm now off to go and watch today's Home and Away and UK soaps and RuPaul's Drag Race UK vs the World. And I was going to be going to Jen's with Tash tonight, but we did end up going in the end. And I hope you guys all have had a lovely day, enjoying lots of pancakes, and just see you in more to vlog tomorrow. It's now Wednesday, and I got up early ready for work. I was doing a 9 till 3, and I had some breakfast and watched a bit of TV, had some bear cuddles, and my dad is off work now as he's off on half term, and I got dropped to work by my dad, and it was so cold this morning, so I had my fleece on. I then got into work. I got clocked in and put my bag and coat away and got my drink I got out to have for work and had some of that, and it's just me and one other colleague on shift. So I got the open done and got the A-frame and the ramps out to put out the front, and got the front door opened. And I hadn't even got the front door open when we had our first lot of guests come in, and I was running food and drinks, doing food and drink orders and drinks making and clean tables, and I even did a few coffees, getting quite good on the coffee machine now, and saw and chatted to some of the regulars, and was cleaning tables inside as well as outside. As although it was quite cold, we had people sitting out in the little gazebo area where we have some heaters and some blankets, so they were sat out there having coffees. And then it got quite busy. We had quite a busy lunch rush. We had a big lot of bookings in, and it was only me and one other colleague on shift, so it's quite a lot, quite stressful, but we absolutely smashed it. Got all the food and drinks out, and Jen was in kitchen with our head chef, and she even came out and helped do a few coffee and drinks making and few orders, which really did help. And I ended up finishing about 3:50ish in the end to stay and help out, as it was going to be just one colleague between 3 and 5, and they had to do the orders. So whilst she did the orders, I was just running some more food and drinks, cleaning tables, putting glasses away that needed to be put away from the glass machine, polishing cutlery, and just making everything nice and tidy. I then finished at 3:50ish, got clocked off, got my bag and coat, and got changed to this jumper I'm wearing right now, which is one of my favourite jumpers. And then I went off to go and get myself some lunch from the co-op, and before that I went off to go to Surroundings, but unfortunately it was shut from 4, and so I wasn't able to go there today. I did go to this shop that's similar to that up in the high street, and I got some snaps of some of the Easter display stuff they have in there. It's so cute in there. very similar to surroundings. They sell lots of arts and crafts and prints and bits like that. I then was having a lovely chat with a shopkeeper in there, and then to get through to there, I'd gone through Hawkins, this like hardware shop, and they had this really cool like archway with lots of autumnal leaves, and I got a selfie for that. I then went off to this art gallery at the top of the high street where the plant shop used to be, and she used to sell her artwork in one of the flower shops that's now shut, so she now has her artwork up in there, and I always see her painting away up there, and she's so talented, and I got some stats of some of the artwork from there. It's so beautiful in there with all the pretty artwork and some Eastery themed ones starting to appear. I was having a lovely chat with the shopkeeper in there, and then I made my way off to Co-op to get myself some lunch from there, and I got myself some chicken and stuffing sandwiches, I got myself some refrigerators and a drink, and then got my younger sister some stuff that she asked me to get for her and sent me the money. I then got picked up by my mum, and on the way back we had to go to the chemist to get some stuff that my mum needed to collect from there. My dad's stuff isn't ready yet, so I'm going to have to go up there tomorrow to get that. And then we got back and I put my work clothes in the wash, and I'm now off for 2 days, and I was supposed to be going over to Tash's to play Minecraft with her this evening, but she's not feeling very well. She's got a bit of a cold, so she's resting up, and I was like, don't worry, I didn't get out till pretty late. She was having to work later, so I messaged her and was like, it's all good, my feet are aching, my back is aching, I just need an evening to just chill. And I'm going to be seeing her Friday when we go to see Wuthering Heights in the cinema in town, so I'm looking forward to that. I heard some really good things about that movie with Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie. And then I was just waiting a bit of my journal entry for today, read a bit more of The Long Game, and had a cup of tea and some biscuits, and I just love custard cream so much. I was just working on some illustrations and watching some vlogs and TikToks and colouring in some of my illustrations. And then for tea we had a curry, and I'll show you guys that. Curry was so delicious. I then finished my journal entry and put that away, and I'm now off to go and watch today's Home and Away and UK soaps. And then tomorrow I'm going to be heading into town, hoping the weather is not too wet, and go off to Sparks and to the flower shop, and maybe go to R2's as well. And then Friday I'm going to probably go to the castle and get some stats from there and go for a little stroll, with the weather permitting. And then in the evening I'm going to be meeting up with Tash, and we're going to be heading off to go see Wuthering Heights. Can't wait for that. Looking forward to these next few days. Got some very exciting things coming up, and I shall see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Thursday, and I got up early ready to go off for a solo trip into town, just have a little bit of a mooch around some of the shops. So I had some lemon curd toast and a cup of tea. I had some bear cuddles, and then my dad was taking Bear off for some blood tests and some little just regular checkups, like checking his ears and stuff. So my dad took him off there, and I then made my way off to go get the bus to town. And I made my way up there, and was listening to music on my headphones. Got up there, and the bus arrived 28 minutes early. I didn't think it was going to be arriving that soon, so it was quite nice. I didn't have to wait out too long in the cold. Got onto the bus and just listened to some music on my headphones. I was on my way into town. Got into town and got off and headed off to R2's, this adorable little cake cafe and bakery, which do such amazing cakes and biscuits and all sugary goodness like that. And I got myself a cinnamon bun, which was humongous, and a chai latte from there, and sat outside on one of the tables they have outside of the cafe and had that. I'm going to show you guys. It was so delicious, and luckily it had warmed up a little bit and the sun had started to come out, so I sat and chilled there for a little bit, scrolled through my phone, and then I went off by the loo at R2's just to wash my hands, as my hands had got a little bit sticky, and I got 2 mirror selfies from there that I'm showing you guys. The mirror in that bathroom is so cute with the plants around it and the Marmite jar and random bits like that, which makes it so quirky, and I love quirky things like that. I then made my way off to go to one of my favourite little flower shops I always love to go to when in town. And last time I got on there, it was just before Valentine's Day, so they had rows and rows of bouquets of flowers that they'd done for people to buy for Valentine's Day. So this time around, going in there, it was a lot less busy and it was a bit quieter, and we're having a lovely chat with the flower shop keepers in there. I then got some selfies in front of some of the flower and plant displays, and they have some really cool little tea lights and little plants hanging down, which makes it so cute, very whimsical, which I love. I love all things whimsical. I then was having a look around there at all the pretty plants and plant pots and the succulents and cactuses and the beautiful bouquets of flowers. They always have such lovely bouquets of flowers in there with lots of roses with beautiful colours, and it smells so good in there. I then got some flower sets and then I'll show you guys. I just love flower photography so much. All the beautiful sunflowers and the roses, which are some of my favourite flowers to get snaps of. I then got some plant sets from the plant section, and I'll show you guys those. That plant section is so beautiful, with all the pretty colourful plant pots and all the succulents and cactuses. I then went off to have a look around some of the shops in Cabot. I went off to the Lego shop and to a bookshop and to a stationery shop. I love all things stationery, so I was having a lovely look around there at some of the notebooks, and then went off to a few vintage shops, and then ended my trip into town by going off to one of my favourite places to go, Sparks. This place that has lots of independent little shops and stalls and setups where you can buy lots of really cool clothes, stationery, mugs, plants, you name it, they've got it in there, and it's always so cool to have a look around at some of the little stalls they have in there with all the really cool jumpers. I was having a very long look around at all of the jumpers. There's some really cute jumpers, and they always have really cool mirrors in there, and I've got some mirror selfies on there that I'll show you guys. You know me, I love a mirror selfie, and the mirrors they have in there are so pretty. I was then just chatting with some of the shopkeepers in there, and then I made it off to go and get the bus back, and I got to the bus stop just as the bus had arrived, so I timed it perfectly. I then got on the bus and just listened to some music on my way back. I then got off at the bus stop by Aldi and then popped into one of my favourite little shops for surroundings, which sell lots of mugs, art print, stationery, socks, lots of really cute little bits like that. I got some snacks on there that I'll show you guys. They've got some really cute things in there. I was having a lovely look at all the displays they have in there. I was having a great chat with the flash keepers in there. I then went off and had a look at one side of the charity shops. I went off to the bookshop, and I love the smell of old books so much. I then bumped into one of my family friends, so I was chatting with them, and saw Amelia as well in the high street. Went on the way to Co-op, so I was having a nice chat with her. I then got myself some lunch from the Co-op and got myself some drink for tonight, for games night, and also got some chocolate cake for the pudding. I then made my way back, and on my way back I was listening to music on my headphones. I then got back and I got the stuff ready to take to Jen's for tonight, like the drinks and the cake, and then I was having some bear cuddles, and he'd been to the vets, so he's feeling a little bit sorry for himself, so he was needing a lot of attention, and was having some cuddles with him whilst we were watching a bit of Young Sheldon. And then I was listening to a bit of music and reading some more of The Long Game, and had a cup of tea and some custard creams. I love custard creams so much, they're probably my favourite biscuit ever. And then I was working on a new illustration, and I'll show you guys that. Here's my newest illustration. She's got this beautiful gown on with this handbag which has some hearts on. She's got a ring on with these gloves, and she's got these puffy sparkly sleeves and this pearl necklace. I'm really into my pearl necklaces at the moment. And she's got this pearl heart little detailed bit on the side of her dress, and she's got this winged eyeliner and big eyelashes and some hearts underneath the eyes, and this long flowing hair. Really loving my hearts at the moment. Love the heart little pearl little detailed bit on the side of the dress. It's so cute. I was then just listening to a bit of Kylie, tidied up my office, my dolls and dollhouse. and I'm now off to go and take Bear for a walk with my dad, and then I'm just going to be chilling and then going off to Jen's for games night this evening, and we're going to be having some fajitas, and you'll see a little bit more of the vlog when I'm back. It's late on in the evening now, and I got back from being on a walk with my dad and Bear. It was a lovely sunny evening, and Bear's getting so good on sleep now, he's not pulling as much. And then when back, I had a cup of tea and some biscuits, and I was just reading a bit more of the long game. I was there just working on some illustrations and kind of some days in, tidied up my office and my Dolls Doll has a little bit, and then I was watching some vlogs and some TikToks and some dog and cat videos and some sea lion videos. I'm loving my sea lions at the moment. They are just so cute and so funny. Some of the videos I've been watching of them just crack me up. And then I got my bag with my drinks and the pudding for games night ready, and then Tash and Jazz and their dad picked me up, and their dad dropped us to games night at Jen's. We got to games night at Jen's, and she was getting the tea ready, and it smelled so good, and we were having fajitas for tea, and I haven't had fajitas in ages, so I was really looking forward to having those, and they were so delicious. And then we had some chocolate cake that I'd bought for pudding, and I'm sure you guys the tea that we had. The chocolate cake was so delicious. It was humongous. It was reminding me of the cake from Matilda, where Bruce has to eat that massive cake. We then played some games. We started off by playing a game of Family Fortunes, and then played Trick or Treat, and then played this card game similar to Cards Against Humanity, which was really fun. Had such a great evening, always have so much fun with those guys. And then it was the end of games night, and I got picked up by my dad, and we brought Tash and Jazz back to theirs. We then got home, and I was having some bear cuddles with Bear before they go away tomorrow. My mum and dad and Bear are off down to Devon, so my dad can go on a little fishing trip away, and he's taking my mum as well. It's going to be a little like lodge, and it's going to be really cute, and it'll be nice for them to get away, and taking Bear as well, so they can take him for some walks, and it'll be really nice for them. And my dad was going to be quite happy there with Bear as well. Hopefully he doesn't jump in the lake. And then I finished writing my journal entry for today, put that away, and I'm now off to get into my PJs and watch today's Home Ray and UK soaps. And I've set my alarm ready for morning group tomorrow. Looking forward to that. And then in the evening, me and Tash are off to see the new Wuthering Heights film with Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie, and it's got songs from Charlie XCX, who we both absolutely love. So we're looking forward to that. Also going to be having Nando's for our tea. Haven't had a Nando's in ages, so looking forward to that as well. And just see you with more to vlog tomorrow. It's now Friday, and it's the end of the week, almost the weekend, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely end to the week. I got up early, ready to go off to the morning group, and got showered and changed. I then had some porridge for my breakfast and a cup of tea, and had the dog and the cat both trying to get the last little bit of my porridge. I then watched a bit of TV, and me and my dad were just watching a little bit of the Winter Olympics, and then I got dropped to morning group by my dad. We got there pretty early, and I got in there, and we were going to be doing some arts and crafts, so we got all the arts and crafts stuff laid out on the table, ready to do a bit of arts and crafts, which I always love doing at morning group. And then the rest of the members of the morning group all arrived, and we started doing a bit of arts and crafts, and we're having some lovely chats, chatting about how our weeks have been. And two of the members of morning group hadn't been for a couple of weeks, as they had this really bad cold flu thing, lots of things going on at the moment, so it was really good to have them back. And I'm going to show you guys the things that I did. So I coloured in these little wooden little bits of crafts, and there was some little toadstools. So there's this one here, which is so cute, and then there's this one as well, which has a little fairy door on there, and then this little magical little wand. So they're very like whimsical fairy tale kind of vibes. And then did some illustrations as well. Did this one here, she's got space buns, walking in space buns, and then this one here with like a little ponytail giving Rapunzel vibes, and then there's this little flower sticker that I stuck on there as well. And then we had some cups of tea and some biscuits, and the lady that runs the morning group had made some biscuits, and I'll show you guys. They were so delicious we had 2 each, and I had a cup of tea, and always started to dunk my biscuits in my tea. The others had coffees. I'm not a really big fan of coffee. And then I popped to the loo and got some Mersalfies from the bathroom. The fish on those tiles is so cute. We then did some more arts and crafts, and we're just having some lovely chats. And then it was the end of the session, and I got picked up by my dad. We then made our way off to go to Tesco's to get some bits from there, and due to Aldi being shut for refurbs, Tesco's was absolutely packed. It was so busy. The car park was basically full, and it was just absolutely carnage. Trolleys everywhere, people everywhere. It was just nuts. A little bit overwhelming. Got some bits from there and got myself some lunch from the middle section, and then we got back and my mum and dad are packing to go off away to Devon. They're taking the dog with them, and they headed off, and I wished them a lovely time away. And it's going to be weird not having the dog here. And then I had my lunch. I had some chicken Caesar wraps with some skits, which are probably my favourite crisps. I love them. They just melt on your tongue. They're so good. I had a cup of tea and some custard cream biscuits. I was reading a little bit more of The Long Game, working on some illustrations and clothes I was dozing, and tidied up my office and dolls and dollhouse a little bit. And then I got myself ready to go off for a walk. Luckily the weather had brightened up and it was not as bad as it was this morning. It was so rainy and gloomy this morning and so windy, but it calmed down a bit. I went for a little stroll and was listening to some music on my headphones whilst on my walk. I then went off to my town's castle where I hadn't been for a while, and had a lovely walk around town's castle's grounds, and they're so beautifully kept. And I got some snaps of the castle that I'm shooting. That water fountain is so pretty in the courtyard. I can remember them putting that in, and all the flowers starting to bloom, lots of spring flowers. I then went inside of the castle and headed to the lounges where you can have afternoon teas, and I've been in there for a few afternoon teas before. It's so lovely in there. I got some snaps from there that I'm show you guys. It's so beautiful in there with the fireplaces and the chandeliers and the tapestries, really cozy, and they had some music playing in there. It was so calming in there, and I then sat in there and had a cup of tea with a biscuit in there, and then on the way out I had to pop to the loo and I got a mirror stuff from there that I'll show you guys. It's such a beautiful mirror. I then made my way back and got home, and I had some of my custard creams whilst reading some more of The Long Game, worked on a bit of my short story that I'm working on, wrote some of my journal entry, and I'm now off to go to meet Tash at our workplace after her shift, and then we're heading off into town to go and watch the new Wuthering Heights film, and it's got Margot Robbie and James Belordi in, and songs from Charlie XCX, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited to go and watch that with Tash. And then we're going to be having Nando's for our tea, and I haven't had a Nando's in ages, so you can't wait for that, and you'll see it with a bit more of the vlog later on. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from being in town with Tash, watching the new Wuthering Heights movie. So I met Tash at work just after her shift, and I dropped in 2 holiday forms and got myself a drink from the co-op for work tomorrow and one for Sunday, and I put the one for tomorrow in the fridge. And then me and Tash got a Greggs and sat and had that whilst waiting for the bus to arrive. And then the bus arrived and we made our way off into town, and the heavens opened and we got into Cabot and headed off to go watch the film. And it was a new cinema that's just opened, so we hadn't been in there before, the Odeon, and we got our popcorn and drinks and then headed off in to watch the movie. And I got a snap of the title sequence and of me and Tash with our popcorn and drinks ready to watch the movie, and I'll show you guys those. The film was so brilliant. It was so well filmed. The music by Charlie XCX, and Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi were stunning in it, and Margot Robbie's character's dresses were stunning. It was a bit of a tearjerker at the end. Me and Tash were literally blubbing, And then afterwards we went off to Nando's for tea. So God knows what people must have thought when they saw us two with bloodshot eyes and puffy cheeks from where we'd been bawling. But yeah, it's so good, and the music was so good. I love a bit of Charlie XCX. I wasn't sure how it would fit in the period drama film that it is, but it fitted in so well. And then we had our Nando's, and I had some chicken fried wraps with a corn on the cob and some pepper chips and a Fanta, and I'll show you guys the Nando's I had. It was so delicious. I was well and truly stuffed, haven't had a Nando's in so long. And then me and Tash headed off to get the bus back, and the bus arrived and we got the bus back and had to go a longer route as they shut one of the main roads in the evening now for road works, so we had to go a bit of a longer way back. And then Tash got off a few stops before me. She got off by Aldi, and I continued on, and I thanked her for a lovely evening. And then I was listening to music on my headphones, and I charged my phone. Luckily they had charging ports on the bus as my phone was about to die. I then went on to the bottom level of the bus and sat and listened to music, and then got off a few stops afterwards, and then got back, and I am now off to go and get into my PJs and finish my journal entry for today. And then I'm going to be watching today's Home and Away and UK soaps. And in Home and Away at the moment there's been a train crash, and I'm hoping none of my favourites die, and just see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Saturday, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely start to your weekend. I got up after a little bit of a lie-in as I didn't have work till 10. I then got showered and changed and had some raisin bread toast with a cup of tea for my breakfast. I was listening to a bit of music and just watched a bit of TV, and had some cat cuddles. She's feeling a little bit clingy, and I think it's because she's missing mum. My mum and dad and Bear are currently down in Devon for a few days. My dad's gone down for a little fishing trip, and they're staying in a little lodge, and they slept really well last night. They sent photos of Bear, and he's living his best life. Hopefully he doesn't jump in the lake because he does like water. I then headed off to work, and whilst on my way to work I was listening to music on my headphones, having a lovely stroll up to work as it was overcast and dry. Thankfully the rain wasn't coming until later on, so I managed to avoid the rain altogether. And I got up to the high street a little bit early, so I went off and had one of the charge shots, and then popped to the flower shop, and I got some flowers that's on there that I'll show you guys. I was able to get some really pretty flower starts, such lovely colours on those flowers. And then I got some plant starts from the plant section and focused on a lot of the cute plant pots they had in there as well, and I'll show you guys those. They've got such beautiful plants in there, really pretty succulents and cactuses and pretty patterned leaves, and those plant pots with the pretty patterns on as well. I then got into work and I got clocked in and put my bag and coat away. I went to get my drink out of the fridge that I'd left there last night when popping in to get Tash from work to go see Wetherington Heights, and had put my drink in the fridge and put my holiday forms up, and my head chef had hidden it. He likes to do that and wind me up. He's such a wind-up merchant, and luckily I found it a lot quicker than normal. Normally I can't find it for ages, so I found that and had some of that. And it was me and 3 other colleagues on shift, and it was half term, and it's the half term weekend, so it was really busy, and we had quite a lot of big bookings, quite a lot of walkers as well, lots of people in for coffees and breakfast in the morning. So I went lots of food and drinks, and I was mainly on floor. I don't think I really went on bar that much. I was just on floor, went lots of food and drinks, clean tables, and so on, chatted to some of the regulars, and it was really busy but also calm at the same time. We had a great team on and a great music playlist playing, so I caught myself singing along to some of the songs whilst cleaning some of the tables. And then one of our colleagues had a lunch break, and so they went off on a lunch break. So one of our colleagues were on coffee, one was on bar, and I was on floor just doing a massive clean up. And then I finished at 3 o'clock. I then clocked off, got my bag and coat, and I got changed into this jumper I'm wearing right now. And then I headed off, and I called up Tash to see if I was able to pop round for a cup of tea and a chat before her shift at 5, but she was asleep, so I didn't end up going round, and I went off to Co-op and got myself some lunch from there, and then went off on my way back for a little stroll. I was listening to music on my headphones, and then saw one of my mates who was in one of the pubs, so I popped in to have a chat with them and ended up getting 2 mirror selfies from there that I'll show you guys. That moment is so beautiful. I got 2 mirror selfies on there, one posted normally and one doing a peace sign selfie. I've been loving my peace sign selfies at the moment. I then made a way back from there, and whilst on my way back I was listening to music on my headphones, and I've been really enjoying the new Charlie X album, Wuthering Heights, for the Wuthering Heights movie, which we saw last night, and it was so good. I then got back and I put my work clothes in the wash and got my clean uniform out ready for work tomorrow. I'm doing a 10 till 5. I then had my lunch, and for my lunch I had a meal from Co-op, and I had some chicken and stuffing sandwiches, which are so delicious, and some prawn cocktail crisps, which are my favourite type of crisps. I then had a cup of tea and some custard creams, and I love custard creams so much, they're so good. I then read some more of The Long Game, listened to a bit of music, and watched some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos and some sea lion videos. I've been loving sea lion videos at the moment, they're so adorable and they just crack me up. And then I was just finishing off some new illustrations, and I'll show you guys a clip of 2 of my new illustrations. Here are 2 of my new illustrations that I'm going to be showing you guys. Starting off with this one here. So she's got this long flowing hair with a dyed bit on the side of her head, which is black, and this long like side pattern bit here with lots of curls. And then she's got this off the shoulder puffy dress with this ribbon on the sleeve, and this hand glove, and this black acrylic nails, and these high heel boots with a massive heel. And I love the ringed eyeliner and the black heart under her eye, and the black earring which is shaped like a heart, and the black studs at the top of her ear. And then on to this one here, she's got a flower crown and some flowers painted under her eyes on her cheeks, and then she's got this pearl necklace, a little cloudy like collar that looks like a cloud, and then she's got this jumper and heart cut dress with netting sleeves, and she's got a flower handbag with a little face on. Then she's got these stunning flower patterned heels. I love the flowers on the straps, and all the flower details and the heart details on this illustration are so cute. My older brother then popped over, and I was just watching some stuff off Netflix, and then he went off to the pub for one of our family friends' birthdays, the Big 3 which I'll be next year, which is crazy. And then for my tea I had a chicken Caesar pasta salad, and I'm sure you guys that. It was so delicious, smothered in Caesar salad cream, which is my favourite type of dressing. I then was just listening to a bit of music and finished writing my journal entry for today, put that away, and I'm now off to go and watch new BGT, and we'll see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Sunday, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely Sunday rest. I got up like yesterday after a little bit of a lie-in, as I didn't have work until 10, which meant I was able to have a little bit more sleep, which I really enjoyed. I then got myself ready for work and was listening to some music on my Sunday playlist whilst getting myself ready for work, and of course had to have a bit of Easy Like Sunday Morning playing. I then had some breakfast, and for my breakfast I had some lemon curd toast with a cup of tea, watched a little bit of TV, and gave Paddy her cat treats that she always has in the mornings. And then I made my way off to work, and whilst on my way to work I was listening to some music on my headphones, enjoying the beautiful sunshine and blue skies. It was such a lovely day, and it's finally starting to feel like spring. And then I came across these beautiful colourful leaves with such beautiful patterns on, and I got a snap of those, and I'll show you guys. They've got such beautiful colours on those leaves, all the reds and the greens. I then got into work, got clocked in and put my bag and coat away, and got my drink out to have for work. Had a little bit of that, and it was just me and 2 other colleagues on shift to start with, and then another colleague came in at 11, and it was quite busy, quite a lot of people coming in for coffees and for breakfast. So I was on floor, one of my colleagues was on coffee, another one on bar, and then another colleague on float, so they were on bar and floor. And I was wearing lots of food and drinks, lots of coffees and doing lots of food and drink orders and drinks making, and saw and chatted to some of the regulars. And as it was lovely and sunny outside, we had a few people sitting outside in the little gazebo area, so I was cleaning tables inside and outside as well. We then had a musician come in and perform at 12 o'clock, and she was a new musician. We haven't had them come and perform before, and she was really good. She was playing lots of really good songs, so I was having a bit of a sing-song whilst cleaning through the tables while she performed. I then had my lunch break and I had a pork roast for my lunch, and I'll show you guys that. The pork belly roast I had for my lunch was so delicious, really enjoyed that. And then I was just chatting with the musician who was sat having her food on the table I was sat on. I was sat on one of the long tables, and she then headed off, and I then was listening to music on my headphones and just watching some TikToks and some vlogs and some funny dog and cat videos and sea lion videos, and was just going on to my Instagram and my Twitter and watching some TikTok videos. And I set my alarm to go off on my lunch break. I had finished and it went off, and so I put my plate into pot wash and turned my headphones off, put those back in my bag, and continued on with cleaning tables and running food and drinks and doing some drinks orders and drinks making. And so I chatted to some of the regulars and made a fuss of lots of the cute dogs for a dog friendly restaurant, and some of the dogs that we had in was so cute. And from 3 till 5 it was just me and one other colleague on shift, and I finished at 4ish in the end as it had quieted down, and I just did a massive clean up of loads of the tables as we had quite a few big bookings in for Sunday roast. So I was just getting all the tables cleaned and back to normal as we collected quite a few tables that had been put together. I then clocked off, got my bag and coat and got changed into this jumper I'm wearing right now, and ended up sitting and having a drink with my head chef and 2 of our regulars with their cute little Pomeranian dog who was so fluffy. I was just having a good chat with them. I then headed off to the shops and got some bits from there, and I got some flour snacks from there, and I'll show you guys those. These flowers are so beautiful. I love that flower section. Always have a lovely time looking around at all these beautiful bouquets of flowers, such lovely colours. All the roses and the sunflowers, they're just so pretty. I then got picked up by my dad, and whilst waiting to get picked up, I popped to the loo at one of the pubs, and I got a nurse off from there, and I'll show you guys that. I love a golden mirror, it's so pretty. I then got some cash out for the week ahead, and I'm now off for the next 2 days. I then got picked up by my dad, got back, and Bear was really happy to see me. My mum and dad and Bear had got back at lunchtime from being away in Devon from Friday to Sunday morning, and was chatting with them about that, and they had a really nice time. And my mum and dad had got me this bag of some fizzy sweets. They look so delicious, can't wait to tuck into these. And then I put my work clothes in the wash and was just listening to a bit of music, working on some of my short stories I've been working on, and we're doing a little bit more of The Long Game, which is from the Heated Rivalry series, and it's so good, such a good book, cannot put that down. I had a cup of tea and some biscuits, and I was just working on some illustrations and kind of some of those in, and tidied up my office and my dolls and dollhouse a little bit. I was then just watching a little bit of Doctor Who and some stuff off record, and was finishing off watching Britain's Got Talent from last night that I started watching and then ended up turning off as I was so knackered. So I then finished watching that, and then for my tea I had a mac and cheese, and I'll show you guys that. That mac and cheese that I had for my tea was so good. It was really cheesy, just how I like it. I was then just reading some more of The Long Game, and I had a cup of tea and some of my custard cream biscuits, which are my favourite biscuits. They're so delicious. I was then just tidying up my office and dolls and dollhouse a little bit, and working on some more illustrations and kind of some of those in. Been really loving my illustration work at the moment. Went through a bit of a time where I wasn't doing as many illustrations and wasn't enjoying it as much as I used to, and now I'm absolutely loving illustrating again. I then was just watching some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos and some sea lion videos, and called and chatted to Tash and was talking to her all about how work had been and asking her all about how football had been. And I'm so happy to be off for the next 2 days. Cannot wait to have a nice lie-in and not have to set any alarms. and I'm now off to go and watch some more episodes of Doctor Who. I just finished watching The Girl in the Fireplace, which is probably one of my favourite Doctor Who episodes ever. That and Angels Take My Hand, which is an episode with Matt Smith, Doctor, the 11th Doctor, Roy and Amy, and I just love that episode so much. And I hope you guys have all had a lovely week and weekend, and all have a lovely new week ahead. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you with a new vlog coming very soon.